tonight's episode, Triangle of Terror.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
I couldn't get him to do it. So I guess we'll start out the show with this dog snorting. From now on. Woods is out there. It's 11, I think, for him in the Pacific time zone. No, 9 for you. So must be nice. I don't know if you can hear this. No, it's not going to do it anymore. He'll do it when I'm talking. He won't do it by himself, though. There we go. So now we're just going to go live on Mondays with snorting. Nope, can't get him to do it. He won't do it now. There we go. Basically, you kind of rub him by his jowl, his jaw. There you go. And then you make his head go up, and then he gives you one of them noises. This is what happens when you rub him on the ribs. This is a belly pat. See, it sounds a little different. That's the chest. It's the belly. And then when he's bad, that's the butt. That sounds a lot like the head, made out of the same material. And this is his mouth. It's bad. Slap him in the mouth. It's all the places you can slap them. Different noises you can get out of them. Now, if you rub them by the ears like this, what'll happen? Nothing. Nothing. You just get fleas everywhere. All right, well, I guess since it's just me and Woods, we're going to go do a quick look around. We'll do a quick make sure, is anybody looking for this dog anymore ever? Usually 3 days, they say, and then nobody wants them. It's been more than a week. So this dog's beyond not anybody wanting them anymore. But quickly go check the different places, see if there's any new word. I definitely think you lived with a lady before. When this dog's ears go up, when certain voices come on the TV or on the movies or something. What was I listening to? I listened to some video and a commercial happened at the beginning of the video, and his ears perked up and he ran all around. So it's frustrating, but can't do nothing about the fact that nobody's looking for him. He does poop a lot. He poops a lot. He pees. So those are things that nobody would want. This dog farted and looked around at it. He's also been around other farts and got all upset about it. Some other noise. I forget the noise. There was some noise that he had no interest in. Some kind of an alarm happened. Oh, no, I was listening to, I was minding my business, scrolling through the Instagrams. And one of the noises on one of the videos was made him like get all upset and look around. It's more like a whistle, I guess. Yeah, he likes that noise. I've gone to the little kid level, the old people route. No old people wanted them. I figured an old people might want him, but I talked to the old people I know, they don't want him. He's unwanted, so now it's the little people. So I've got my offer out to the youngest of the little people. Let me think. Yeah, the youngest, I think, of the little people was the order of preference. So we're finding out. We'll find out from them. It's Thanksgiving, so it's a bad time to have some snorty dog that stinks all the time and pees everywhere. Have that burden put on you. That's probably why they got rid of them right before the holidays. Like, oh, you know what? Let's have some pleasant holidays without a bunch of some dogs snuggling them all the time when they're sleeping, making this noise all the time. Who would want this noise around them all the time? Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that noise from the dog. So probably be taking him over to get another bath. See how stinky he is. So let's see. Today's the Motivation Monday. Clover had a chat earlier today. He doesn't stay awake this late, so he won't hear this chat. But it was interesting. He's doing the channel reviews. It's kind of cool. So with everybody getting ready for SHOT Show, or for some people getting ready for SHOT Show, I'm sure they're going to be psyched to get some kind of feedback on their channels and stuff. But let's talk about, I guess, kind of going with where, what the hell are you doing? Going with what Clover started. You can expand on. That's what I'm looking for. Expand on what Clover did earlier. So put this over here, flip this over, and then give you one of these. You can see what he's doing now. Just sitting over there. He likes to sit over there looking at that other monitor. This TV over here, this other computer, that's the one. See that TV up there? That's where I watch the movies and stuff. And so that's where he heard the lady's voice. So I think he goes over there thinking that that's where the lady lives. But there's no lady over there, just a TV. He doesn't know what a TV is. All right. That's the microphone that he's snorting on. When he looks up like that, he's snorting, snorting, snorting. And now when he looks that way, he's looking at you. See how it works? Now he'll go back over there and just look. Sometimes he'll come over here if I do this and sit by me, but he doesn't really like sitting over here normally. He wants something, so he's licking me. What are you gonna do? Do something good. Do some trick. Do something that the internet will find interesting to make a bunch of views. Make some views. Do something viral. Do something viral. Come on, hold on. Do something viral. Hold on. Do something viral. Do something viral. Look, do something funny. Here, with my hand. Do something funny. He doesn't really get it. What if I went like this? Do something viral. And still doesn't get it. I don't know. Maybe he's thick-headed. Maybe he's just belligerent. Okay, now he sits like this sometimes when he gets like this. Oh, he's getting licky. What does that mean? I mean, I'm not sure how the puppy thing works, but when he starts getting licky like this, that's when I whoop him. Need a whooping? Yeah, he knows what's coming. He knows he's getting a whooping. Mm-hmm. He knows he learned that he deserved that one. He earned it. Dress him up. No, what is he talking about? That guy wants you to be dressed up like some kind of a clown. Is that going to go viral? Wait a minute. Does that go viral? If we can go viral, then guess who's wearing costumes? What do they call Comic-Con for puppies? What do they call it when a dog is so desperate for views that he's going to try on any costume that's out there? Anything that's out there, he'll try on because he's that desperate for views. lay down, or what are you gonna do? You're not gonna even lay down. All right. So anyhow, I'll have to play with this foot over here while I'm waiting for him to slow down, sleep again. Eventually, he'll sleep and just be sleeping here. But he gets in these little moods where he decides he needs to sit up here. It's frustrating. Like you want to have a puppy sitting right in front of you and have to pet him all the time. Nobody wants to. But some of us are willing to foster a baby like this for a couple of days until we find somebody who's willing to take them. So we've got Clover out there doing channel reviews, and he's doing the what's there. You know, he's looking at what they've got and offering them some feedback, asking questions, and that kind of thing. So what he doesn't get a chance to talk about, or he decided not to talk about, maybe he intentionally decided not to talk about this, but is the time of year. It's Christmas time. So, well, it's holiday time because you got your different stuff. Your Halloween, I guess it all starts with. You've got your Thanksgiving, and then you got your Christmas. At least in this country, that's the big three for this time of year. And that's your Black Friday. So you got a whole bunch of sales happening, capitalists after all. You've got Christmas, a lot of gift giving, and then all the other holidays that happen at the end of the year. Again, gift giving and like housewarming presents and gifts for the holiday dinners and stuff. So there's lots of purchasing going on, lots of purchasing of non-practical things, right? Like fancy stuff and gifts and that kind of thing. Eating of food, right? There's a lot of money being spent this time of year, and we're capitalists. We know that. YouTube and the other platforms are predominantly focused on either finding resources or offering services for people who are doing stuff, right? Living their lives. So with YouTube, it's kind of obvious, but we got all our sales happening, all of our major projects, I guess you could say, like focused on this time of the year, usually. All hands on deck, you could say. Black Friday, literally it's named that because that's when businesses can make it or break it for the year. Based on the anticipated increase in sales. So, of course, the internet's going to be a factor of that or be a reflection of that. And that's something that doesn't get brought up too often because it's maybe advanced or intermediate, at least, level YouTube stuff. I mean, it's obvious, obviously, but bring it up because this is a time when if you're a channel in progress, I guess, like if you're a channel that's been through the ringer a few times, or at least been through a couple of adventures, this isn't a time to coast. This is a time to really be paying attention and doing stuff. So getting your stuff done this time of year for that natural increase or the anticipated or the normal trend of use during this time of the year is right before our SHOT Show, right before the beginning of the year, right before right as a bunch of places are doing their big advertising pushes. They may have been planning on that for a while. They may be have discretionary funds or something, slush funds that they're going to be using. Slush funds, I don't know if that's the right word, but funds that they're going to be using in play. So for those reasons, this is not the time to be doing your YouTube projects as, when I get around to it, or if I have enough time. This is the same way that a lot of people are spending all their time and effort for the year on their business or on their service for this time of year, putting all the effort into your channels, into your projects this time of year is not an obligation, but it's certainly the most bang for the buck. You're going to get the most bang for your buck out of working this time of year. So I guess I was going to talk a little bit about time management and scheduling and that kind of thing, as far as if you are trying to create a channel to do something, to have some some effect or you're reaching some goals, then you got to know when to do things that's effective with the environment. So again, focusing on the stuff that people are doing right now and potentially strategically doing things that people ain't doing. I'm doing this show when most people are probably going to be talking about what to eat or pies or winding down or what gifts they're buying, Black Friday sales, that kind of stuff. And all that stuff is it's on people's minds. So that's the time of the year you want to lean into that stuff if you're really trying to grow and to accommodate what the audience is going to be looking for. Let's see. So wouldn't the costumes be discounted now? Yeah. I've seen a couple at the thing. Now what happened is for a window there, the Halloween stuff was very cheap. I probably could have bought something. There's a couple of costumes at the dollar store that are dog costumes that are, they're probably only $4 anyway, but maybe they're on sale. But I think they keep them there for like birthdays and people that just want a costume for a little dog. I think people with little dogs end up putting costumes on them all the time. It's kind of inevitable. They look kind of like little stuffed animals, so it's going to happen. But I think they're just there year round. In other words, I don't think they're just leftovers from Halloween. But all the Halloween stuff that got kicked to the curb pretty quick when all the yellow orange and brown and black stuff came in for Halloween. But then, or not Halloween, but Thanksgiving. And then the Thanksgiving stuff is already gone. Like it's already 2 aisles worth of Christmas garbage at the dollar store. So any Halloween stuff is long gone. They probably marked it down 75% off of the sale price. That's what they do. And then it just goes. People aren't stupid. They probably bought that stuff and put it into the closet for next year's eBay. September eBay. Put it all out there for starting at $1 and you're making money no matter what because you bought it for 25 cents. Here or there, I'm probably not going to put a costume on them. What I have thought about doing is something else. So if I do the other thing that I'm thinking about doing, you'll know because, it'll go viral. It'll be the coolest thing on the internet. Everybody else will be copying it, that kind of thing. I'll probably do that, but I might be too busy to do that. We'll find out. Let's see. So going back to scheduling, making your channel do something at this time of the year. Let's see. So we've got your sales and things like that happening. But at the same time, there's all this stuff happening now. So like to say this isn't time of the year to just go on autopilot either. A lot of people do. And just like anything, you wait for everybody else to do one thing and you do the other thing. And there's potential there. There's not just potential to provide a useful set of things for people that ain't worried about Christmas or the holidays or gift giving. There's just always people that aren't going to be doing that this year. And they're looking for just plain old content. So sometimes just delivering plain old content straight through is a strategy. I'm not going to say, oh crap, what did I just do? I'm not going to say it's the best strategy. I think I just pinned my trash can somewhere I didn't want. Gotta figure out where the heck I just stuck my recycle bin. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Kind of talk and type at the same time. Let's see. So now it said you said a couple other things, but this one is most channels are gonna do Black Friday stuff. Thoughts? I get it, but it's the same stuff over and over. Low lights and that stuff. So that's interesting. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this stuff. So Honda had a show over the weekend. I don't remember if it was yesterday's or the Saturday show. I think he just does Saturdays now. So the Saturday show, and I was just minding my business doing stuff. And then I noticed that somebody was live and it was Honda. So I went over and looked. I didn't get a link or nothing, but I was just doing stuff. So I was just listening. And then they talked about Vortex, I think. Crossfire or something. So anyway, the Palmetto State had a sale on a $149, $190, I think it was $199 optic that was on sale for $99. So that means it's a $99 optic. And then they had a Black Friday deal with a code that brought it down to $40. So from $199 MSRP, $99, that's probably what they cost, and then down to $39.99. So he said, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then, I mean, a bunch of people bought them, like a bunch of people. So I was sitting here listening. I'm like, oh, shit. So I went over and grabbed the link I've got to an affiliate link to Palmetto State and then dropped that into the chat. Now, I did that after the buying frenzy or whatever, but where normally I don't get very many links like that at all because I don't use the affiliate stuff too often. I just figured, oh, snap, since they're talking about it, I'm going to throw a link in there. But the number of people that, or even when I threw that link into just one chat on a random Saturday, Sunday night, whenever it was, and then, was it last night? Anyway, whenever day it was, just a random chat, and nobody was expecting me to throw in a link, and who knows how many people have any interest in clicking on my link while they're, making that decision to click links. And I forget, 7 or 8 people clicked on that link. Now, they didn't buy nothing, but if I would have dropped that link, I don't know, half an hour earlier, whenever they were actually talking about that, having the actual feast or the, what's it called? Like the feeding frenzy on those optics for whatever reason. I don't know what the cut would have been. Maybe 10%, 5%, probably 5% of $40. Is that $2? So $2 times a dozen, $12 in one chat. So, normally throughout the year, you're not going to motivate dozens of people to go jump over and grab a specific link like that or jump on a specific sale like that. But at the Black Friday times when, well, really it should be, what is it, Cyber Tuesday or something? Cyber Monday days? But whatever. When people are in this mode of like, I gotta buy. And then you throw a link out there. I'm just using Honda as an example, but any number of people that are standing around talking about what to purchase, and you drop a link out there, and a bunch of people click, whatever the number is, look, and then whatever the smaller number is, actually purchase, and then the even smaller number of people who did it so that the links all work, and you actually initiate the affiliate cut. Again, you might be making $2 or $3 if you're lucky on a medium price thing, maybe $10, $15 if it's a big enough item. The people that do this on a bigger scale for cars or tools, think about the tool people. And when tool people sit around getting in a buying frenzy, you're talking, between $2 and $15 every time somebody clicks on that link. So as far as my thoughts on people that are going to do Black Friday stuff, I mean, that is the money. And for some people, really, the big game, when you've been in it for a while and you're still in it, you're either doing it because you love what you're doing and you're enjoying it in some way, you're participating, or you're getting something out of it that has nothing to do with money. And if you're really just having conversations, it doesn't cost that much. But if you're doing anything elaborate and it's costing you money, and you've been in it for a while, then that you don't make, just like the businesses that we're talking about here, they don't make all their money all year. It would be awesome if they made a little bit of money all year, but instead they survive for most of the year. Some of the months they probably have to just debate whether or not they're going to keep the cycle going, but they'll go into the red. And then when Black Friday comes along, hopefully they make enough income to bring themselves out of the red for the entire year. So it's a very lopsided situation as far as when sales happen. Now, there might be a specific instance, 4th of July or, whatever, some special occasion for that store or that industry or that niche that is going to get us another thing besides Black Friday. But a lot of places only get Black Friday. So again, if you're a content creator of any type, a blogger, a YouTuber, some kind of Twitter person, your overall project is 12 months. Your income window is, the holiday times, and the big target is Black Friday. So for a lot of people that are really in it, this is the only time they're going to make any real income on the channel. And if you're not trying to make a living, or even if you are, then you've got to put the appropriate amount of attention in there. So I get that people are going to, have that conversation and that focus. And again, if you're in the game, then you really need to be. If you're not, then you're leaving all that money on the table. And that's sort of what I'm talking about today, is for people that are having that debate. Because you'll get people that are like, oh, I'm only here for the authentic conversation or whatever. I get that. But in reality, if everybody was here for the authentic conversation, we'd all be sitting around like a bunch of beatniks, smoking cigarettes and sipping wine, and nothing be getting done, because beatniks don't do shit. They just sit around talking about it. So, you need people that are out there doing every level of stuff, because there's people out there that are going to get stuff done as a consequence of getting 6 other things done. They're just able to do a lot. So the only way to get a lot of people together is to, have big projects that bring people together. But anyway, as far as, a channel that's going to be putting a lot of focus on the Black Friday stuff, I get it. The problem is that the thing I don't appreciate about it, or I don't do it and I don't value it, is the idea of fostering a conversation just so that there's that payoff. And I would have to roll my eyes and basically not enjoy conversations all year if I just wanted to foster a bunch of people talking about optics. Well, let's go back to those optics and talk about them for a second. So those were $199 optics. You can get them anywhere you want. If you like a store, or you like an entity online, do your shopping through their links. It's that easy. But whatever the product is, if it's a $200 product, in reality, how many $200 products do gun people buy? I don't even know, dozens. So $200 product, you might get, like I say, $4 or something as a cut for an affiliate thing. If all you do is talk about $200 things, then that can be some actual income, and depending on what you're trying to do with your channel or how many people you got looking around, that can turn into actual business plan. But the thing is, it doesn't happen too much on the gun side. We're not buying that much stuff on a regular basis that has affiliate links. If we had useful affiliate links, if we had a lot more participation as the industry, it'd be a lot different situation. But if you think of something like 3D printing, every single element in a 3D printing conversation is going to have an Amazon link. There's nothing that Amazon says, oh no, we don't allow links to that with 3D printing or beer making or with scrapbooking or with dog training, like all these other things. Oh, I need to buy that funny dog scarf, or I need to buy that whistle, or I need to buy that measuring thing, or I need to buy that log book or whatever. Everything you got on other projects, can be kind of have a link, a potential income source to it. And then you got the ability to pretty much focus on anything along there. I want to focus on the dog breed. I want to focus on the results of the training. I want to focus on the facilities that you do the dog training at, right? There's room there for a lot of different things because there's that potential for income. But we all know on the gun side, we're trying to be marginalized. We are being marginalized as gun owners. The agenda nationally is to consider guns a vice, and people who own guns somehow irrational and somehow focused on violence. So they have to act as though that anything that has anything to do with anything that approaches firearms is somehow approaching weird stuff in the terms of service, all the vices, right? So that's one of those frustrating things, because we're marginalized and our property is being persecuted as a general rule, then the marketing options aren't there for us. So it can be frustrating on the gun side when people focus on the funding their channel through affiliate sales. The focus ends up being very heavy on the what are you going to buy and that kind of stuff. And I think that's why it gets to me annoying for our particular community for so many people, because it's there's just that one avenue, or very few avenues, and maybe not one, but a very limited number of avenues to create income from a channel. So it gets beaten to death, right? And the people that do it big time, people have been doing it for years, are kind of doing it subtly, and it's frustrating because even in Honda's conversation, the way that he started talking about it is because there's a couple of people that trigger Honda in his group. Like Wood said, they're a unique crew of people over there, and they'll rage and complain and get all mad about stuff. And then literally they're complaining about this entity. Oh, this entity is always posting links. Look at this. They're posting a link to a thing. It's an optic that's on sale. Oh, that's a good price. And all of a sudden there's a feeding frenzy and they're all buying the optic. So, you've got that where it's very, there's very limited options. So we end up kind of all festering around these affiliate links, and it can be lame. And then there's the few companies with the affiliate links. So you've got the brand loyalty and the brand hatred and that kind of stuff. So I can understand why that stuff gets to be annoying. And it only happens once a year, so it's cyclical. We only have this one time of the year. It's not like we even get to appreciate hunting season. We don't get to appreciate like shooting sports that are doing their championships where people might purchase, have purchasing potential. We don't get to experience any of that. So all of ours every year is this one time a year, and it can be like rubbing a wound for a lot of people. Let's see, 27 Olight reviews. So that gets into, if we're talking counseling and coaching for a channel, you got to be aware of who else is out there and what else has been done. So many people go, oh, you know what, I'm new. I've got 1,000 subs, or I'm brand new. I've been in the scene for 6 months or whatever, maybe even a year and 6 months. They just weren't paying attention when they were their first time around. So people don't realize that certain reviews will get oversaturated, and the way they get oversaturated is they either have a very high return for the affiliate sale. So if, let's say, there's a no-brainer, a $20 flashlight that's a $40 value, so anybody in their right mind is going to buy this flashlight, and on that $20 flashlight they're going to give you $5, and that's not unheard of, especially when a company is willing, and actually their business model is to let some other company, usually an American company, do all the research and development, and then quality and then development, I guess, and then come up with a final product, and then that Chinese company can just rip it off. So that real product has to absorb all the people in the United States, with their Social Security and their insurance and their cost of living and their paychecks, and then all that research that it took to create the new product, and then the China version can go, let's just backwards engineer it, let's make it cheaper, and let's just kick it out of here with inexpensive labor rates and inexpensive shipping, and then give everybody a $5 cut for this $20 thing, and it's going to get saturated. So that can be annoying, but how many years do you got to go through that cycle to know that? I find it more interesting to find out what's the Olight this year. Remember Phoenix? It used to be Phoenix. Remember before that it was Photon. Like it's the same company, I'm sure. If it isn't, it's just probably like Norinco or what's the other one from Norinco? Chicom or whatever it is. But the Norinco is North China company, but what is the other one? Oh, Polytech. It's like Polytech or Norinco. They aren't entities. They're importers. They're just entities that represent other entities to capitalists. So all the communists hang out and do whatever weird communist thing they're going to do, and then they put all their stuff in a big pile like communists will do, and then Norinco is the one that goes to that pile and sells it to the Westerners. So you've got that happening in lights. I'm sure there's probably like 12 different companies. They all just say write this word on there, and now they're Phoenix Lights. Let's see. Ghost is out there. Gizzard is out there. Good evening. Let's see. So then, considering doing dog chew toy reviews. My dog eats toys in a day. Really expensive hard chewer. Well, see, any group that has situations, right, has something to deal with like that. People that aren't dog people think, dog people make 6 or 8 decisions, and otherwise they're all the same. Well, not really, because a puppy is different than a big dog, and an old dog is different than a medium dog, and the little dogs are different than big dogs, and that kind of stuff. And then you've got dogs that play, and you've got dogs that sleep all the time, dogs with eating issues. This dog is going to be the kind of dog where you can't leave it, right? It's got whatever that's called, issues where if you leave it. So there's products and there's strategies and there's things that you need to purchase in order to deal with all that. So yeah, when you're deciding how do I stop my puppy from doing this or how do I teach an old dog new tricks, you're going to get together with others to learn, and then you're going to recommend stuff. And when we're talking dog stuff, again, there's literally nothing. Everything in the dog realm is encouraged to have conversation and links and stuff. So having a channel about dog chewing, it would be one of those things where there's the opportunity, I guess, for having a channel just featuring your puppy. There's a couple of funny kind of long-term like narrative like comedy channels where the dogs are the feature, and every once in a while their people are in it, but it's really just about the dogs living their life and the people are there to help them or whatever, provide support. But it's all about the adventures of the dogs, or maybe like Garfield, it's not so much adventures, just the lifestyle of the dog. I guess cat people do it too. Maybe pig people do it. From Shannon, I know, or Sharon, I know a bunch of rabbit people. I follow, I see a bunch of rabbit people in my feed. So there's the lifestyle part of a dog thing, and depending on what you're doing and how intensive you are with it or how much fun you're having with it, you could get people that are monitoring of a dog lifestyle channel. You got people that are like giant fans of it, might be buying merch and funny stuff or t-shirts and calendars, that kind of stuff from it. Or to the kind of thing where this is a dog who can eat any rubber toy, and you just go through giving the dog rubber toys and evaluating if the toy was able to hold up to it or not. Maybe you've got like a picky dog who only will play with certain things, and then again you could create a following of interested people who use your dog as a indicator, so they don't waste a bunch of money buying toys and stuff. Plus, it might just be, my dog's got a weird issue where he licks his foot or whatever, and you get a bunch of people together and they talk about strategies of what, sour apple to spray on there, or what, whistle or motivation to stop a dog from doing it, and that kind of stuff can really be neat. I don't know about dogs. I like dogs, but I've had dogs for so long that for me, dogs aren't something I spend a lot of effort paying attention to. I mean, playing with the dog, one thing, but worrying about what to feed it or that kind of thing, I'm not doing that very much often. So, but new dog owners or dog owners that really are just into their dogs, and I'm sure there must be dozens of conversations, there's probably countless conversations like that around the world, people getting into their dogs. But as far as would that keep your interest? I mean, I don't mind having my dogs involved in my stuff, but my life doesn't revolve around like whether or not the dogs are happy, if that makes sense. Let's see. Pro beatnik depends. There's the hippie beatniks, and then there's the do nothing beatniks. Hippie beatniks are super productive and get things done, leaders in their community. Gizzards out there hopping in for bed. I didn't know you were allowed to be up that late. I guess it's a holiday week. Enjoy yourself. Let's see. Who's the best for discount codes? Dead Horse. Yeah, so Dead Horse, his project, if people don't remember Dead Horse, he had a great what's the way to say it? Like his part of the community was rare and fairly unique. Definitely unique in some ways, but he wasn't the only one who ran a channel like he did. So in the height of Gun Channel's time, I'm pretty sure Dead Horse was there since the beginning. Gun Channels wasn't a group of people who were just content creators. It was content creators who were authentic, like real, regular content creators, and their audiences. So it was a bunch of audiences and a bunch of people that participate in live conversations, which are like a layer above audiences. And then there was these content creators, which are just a layer above that, because they're just the ones that ran the hangouts or turned on the show or like gave enough of a care to make like a Thursday show about shotguns or something. So you've got these people that are all participatory in this community, and Dead Horse found a group of friends there because he wasn't interested in making a channel to make money at all. He I don't even know if he ever even had an affiliate link. If he had an affiliate link at all, I'm guessing, trying to remember. I don't remember him having one, but if he did, he might have had companies that he valued that either were offering something good or from a good place, like a good company story. And even though their stuff wasn't necessarily better or different or all that unique, he was always a champion of the companies that had something to sell for a reason. And he didn't turn his nose up at anything that wasn't ultimate performance or that somebody else didn't prove worked better or something. So he was just truly interested in exploring the different products and very like comparing the different things, like different rails or different handguards or different grips or different lights. And he had the resources to purchase a bunch of this stuff. So yeah, he had a channel where he paid attention to various things, like the differences in optics or the differences in handguards and the basically AR-15 stuff, but all the different options for the different pieces of the different configurations of the different AR-15s. And I don't know if I've ever known, and I've known a lot of people with a lot of guns, but I don't think I've known anyone with as many AR-15s as he'd had. Certainly, and every single one was different. Like certainly he had more experience with a variety of stuff than even gun shops would have, because he owned the guns. He didn't just have the stuff in stock or have conversations with people who bought it from him. Instead, he owned everything and he purchased everything and used everything. So yeah, he had and he didn't really, he went out shooting or whatever, but he wasn't doing it just to be a gear reviewer. So he wasn't like putting together 3 different guns and taking them out just to do it. But he was interested enough to have multiple guns and take them out occasionally. But again, the gun channel's community situation was more like people would know that Dead Horse had that stuff, and if he was going shooting and somebody was interested in something, they would ask, or they might ask him to, hey, can you shoot that or try this with that thing on it? And he'd be like, heck yeah. And then he would go try that. So he was there to help evaluate or make decisions without interest in having you make a decision just for the sake of making a decision so that he could give you a link. So anyway, he was hardly ever given links, but when he was paying attention to purchasing, like everybody, like we talked about in this country, at least we make our purchasing decisions this week, for the most part, for just about everything. I wanted to buy a air fryer. I was thinking about it, but I'm going to wait until Friday to see if they go on sale, right? So it's, people are going to make their purchase decisions this time of year. And just like anybody, he was making his purchase decisions. So he would share the coupon codes, but I know Dead Horse, and he may have had a 1 or 2, like I say, over the years, but very much the exception to the rule. He would just offer discount codes that he thought were good discount codes. I think I don't want to sell him short. He may have had some opinions on stores. I just don't remember him being like a massive champion for like buy from this store over that store. He would just offer the coupon codes that he discovered. But anyway, that was definitely an era of conversations that will be, will go down as being unique. I've never experienced anything like, well, I shouldn't say that. Back in the olden days before YouTube, there was some people with a lot of experience and at least awareness that would offer advice and counsel. There's no way that you could have had that same situation as Dead Horse back in the days before the video, because Dead Horse would go live for a couple of hours and put rifles together live, so people could have conversations about the tools and about the processes and about the options or the reasons his choices he made. So that part of it you couldn't get on the forums, but people were doing that stuff while they were on the forums. And since the internet was slower back then, it was still like live, because there was conversation happening in front of everybody online, kind of splitting history there, splitting memories there. But as far as Dead Horse, yeah, he was definitely unique, is definitely unique, and definitely his chats were epic, and I keep saying unique, but stood alone. Don't hear from him very much, but still give him links whenever I do, and Every Second Matters, and have big panels and stuff just in case he has a chance to jump on. Gave one of the sets to the brother. I think you're saying that that horse has a way of getting it quality for the budget. He was the master of discount codes. Yeah, again, he was just paying attention, and you'd have a rail. A lot of times, here's another thing that you got to be aware of as capitalists. You should know this by now. I don't know how old you are, but if they're about to make all their money with the new product and they got everything down the way they wanted to, they brought their new product in this year, and they're just talked about it. Maybe they got their new product at the beginning of next year, but most people are bringing it out for Thanksgiving. So they got their new product, and it's got such a cool new grip angle that you can't even imagine. It's not like the old grip angle at all. So now they've got that new one coming, but they didn't sell out yet. What are they going to do with all these old ones that have the old grip angle that nobody wants anymore? They just don't know. They don't want it anymore. That's where you get your less scrupulous type, and they'll go, oh, you got a whole bunch of old models? Well, what's the lowest price we can make on those? Let's get rid of them for you. And that's where you've got a lot of that stuff going on. Dead Horse would be aware of that and be like, hey, they're getting rid of last year's model, so they're dirt cheap. But he wouldn't be like, hey, you know what's so awesome is last year's model. It's the best model ever, and here's why you should buy it. It would be more like, hey, they're getting rid of these, so now's the time to buy them. But he'd also know about the smaller companies that maybe didn't have the ability to give a big cut or have a product that was, the biggest product on the fad list or whatever. So he would champion coupon codes for smaller stuff or the more obscure stuff that would often just be laying on the table. Other people might have been aware of it, but they just didn't pick up the baton for those smaller companies. So he definitely had that awareness and that reputation or whatever. He did a lot of work for that or in that direction. Was that a good strategy for the long term? No, not really. He didn't do it in a way that was laying down links all the time. He would offer a link, but it wasn't an affiliate link. So he would let people know about interesting sales or discounts or good prices and then just send people their way. But he didn't do that in a way where he had a relationship. Now, if you wanted to do a channel and just be like Consumer Reports, that's definitely a channel. Clover was talking about that a bit earlier this morning when they were talking about some of the coaching for different ways, routes, methods, strategies to run a channel. And, for example, if you did want to do a channel where you were just going to talk about accessories for whatever the thing is, you're probably not going to learn about using the thing. Let's say the thing is a canoe, so that we don't get the gun. We know we're talking about guns probably, but let's say a canoe. There's going to be the people that are making canoes and offer discount codes or something, or offer some kind of affiliate link to the canoe. And that's the canoe company 1, 2, and 3. But there's canoe company ABC over here. There's canoe company, Circle, Square, and Rectangle over there. And they may not, or maybe they may not even have any interest in offering affiliate code, any ability to offer affiliate codes, right? They got their own situations going on. But one of those canoes is the perfect canoe for rivers. Fast flowing water where you need a keel or whatever, and an outfitter boat, maybe for going down rapids and stuff. Like that's a canoe. Like that's a decent canoe for a lot of stuff. But then you've got a canoe for lakes, and you don't have any current, and you need to book. You don't want a keel. You want a big, fat, wide boat. You want a portage, so you want a boat that's lightweight, right? So that's a different kind of canoe. And then you got your sport canoers. For some reason, people like to jump out of the back of something with a canoe on their back and then hike a long ways and then use the canoe to travel down a river. I don't know. People like extreme canoeing. So they probably have some other kind of canoe that's some weird hybrid canoe that nobody else would want. And then maybe there's the fly fisherman who's got some kind of fold-up canoe that's made out of material and some pipes. And they're able to hike up a mountain and then canoe out into a still lake, in a glacier lake or something, and fish for trout. So, you've got these different types of canoeists. So some people are just going to spend all their time talking about the canoes and the way the canoes are made and everything, but they've never even gotten in a canoe. And then you've got people that are constantly in a canoe, but they don't care what canoe they've got. They just grab whatever canoe is in front of them, or some people just show up and they rent canoes. And there's just going to be different people out there. So it's going to be pretty tough to make a channel that doesn't seem lame or one track. So my suggestion is, if you're going to be doing something like that, it's not going to be very lucrative in the firearms thing. There's some people that are already exploiting the shit out of that, and they have most of the drive or most of the traffic, you could say, for people that are looking for that. But if you're going to do something like that, I'd suggest doing it on a separate channel, and then put all that stuff on one channel and let that audience be that audience, and then do the stuff that you're passionate about, that you have some awareness of or some interest in, or something to contribute to. Or at least if you don't have nothing to contribute to, you're learning or you're growing, then a place where people can gather to have conversations about what it is you're interested in. If you're passionate enough to have a consistent, regular conversation for people, then you don't need to know, you can just provide. So if you want to offer a service or be interested in some niche or whatever, I would do that on your own, on a channel that you're going to devote to that. And then if you're going to try to play the let's make some money game, do it on a different channel. There's no law that says you got to do all this stuff on the one project all the time under one name. And then you can split. Then you don't have to get people that are there to save $5 on something that's lame to also care about what it is you're passionate about. Because that's a tough split sometimes. I'm really here for the Quigley Down Under guns. Those are my passion. Oh, but then I make the most money on flashlights. So let's talk about weapons mounted lights. Well, it doesn't really work. You're not putting a weapon mounted light on the gun you care about. The people that are there to learn about whatever it is or to talk about the interesting thing are going to be few, and they're going to be dedicated to that interest or that area of interest or whatever that topic. But they're not going to care about your weapons light. And if you foster a channel to weapons light people and you don't know nothing about weapons light other than you got an affiliate link, you're behind the 8 ball. So that's where, just having here's the specials, here's the stuff to buy, having that on its own channel can actually, well, at least depending on what's going on, it could be a better strategy, or a more effective strategy. I don't want to say it's better. All right, well, I think everybody, as far as the live stuff, has checked off for the night. We do this show at midnight, and the goal is to get some things accomplished with this show. I'm not interested necessarily in doing the show just to do it. So getting certain tasks done are too big to move in one movement. So you do them little pieces at a time, little nibble little bites at a time, I guess. And Mondays, we're going to attempt to focus on the gig, being a content creator, being a Second Amendment activist, using the tools that are available, understanding the use of these tools in 2022. There's a big difference between 2022 and 2020. There's a big difference between 2022 and 2012. And keep comparing things. Things change quickly. And that's what we do on Monday, is try to keep up with that, try to give people some direction in the chaos or in the confusion, and offer some insight and some feedback on different options that might be out there for someone who's creating content. On Tuesdays, we're going to talk about 2A. On Wednesdays, we look at our culture, have a little fun, pop culture and media and that kind of thing. On Thursdays, travel, training, what to do, how to do it. And then on Fridays, it's the industry, taking a look at the stuff and the folks and the companies that make it possible to do what we do, and that are created by folks doing what we do, which is owning firearms in the United States in 2022. Let's see. So we didn't talk about news of the day. We didn't talk about politics. We didn't talk about laws and that kind of thing. We'll talk a little bit about that stuff on Tuesday, but the sucker bet is to pay attention to the people that want to keep you paying attention on the daily. There's things that happen cyclically. There's things that happen occasionally. There's things that happen on the regular. And the trick is knowing what you can deal with, what you can affect, and what you can't, and what's the word? Give them the right amount of attention to everything. Allocating attention to the things that are most interesting and effective for you. So we're going to offer a place to talk about that, some sounding boards on some of those things. Every once in a while, an opinion. It's not for everybody, but we appreciate the people that do show up for this. Give us some feedback. There's only a couple of people watching this late at night. This dog even fell asleep. He gets pretty bored he doesn't get motivated by talking about this kind of stuff. Some people hate this stuff. Some people aren't even listening to this, and some people are listening and they don't understand it. Those of you that do, we appreciate you. Those of you that are doing your thing, you're not the only one out there. There's people that do appreciate you doing stuff for a reason. There's people that appreciate when you decide not to do stuff that could be a lot easier. And appreciate the people that are spending their time and attention on the stuff that keeps us as gun owners doing what we're able to do. All ends of it, the industry side of it, the user end of it, the people in between, and those of us just experiencing it and being part of the whole thing. It's a pretty cool time to be 2A. It's a pretty good time to be a gun owner, and a pretty fun time to be just a person hanging out in the United States. On the other hand, there's a lot of people who would say that it's the opposite of all that. So don't be taking everything for granted and don't assume nothing. Nothing's here forever, and we are not observers. We are participants in this whole thing, and people don't realize how influential or how much significance each of our influences can be. So we usually like to mention this, but value your voice. Your time spent is yours. It's your time, so make it deliberate, and we appreciate those that spend some of that time with us. Let us know, share with us what other things you find important so we can help share that with others. And I think we'll take a lead from this little puppy and start going to sleep also. So with that, nobody saying anything, we'll end this thing. If you're listening in the future, then you can be the first one to give us some feedback, because the people that are live are not giving us any feedback. We will be back tomorrow. I want to thank our Patreons, make it possible for us to spend time on things like this without trying to sell you some kind of grip angle or red dot optic. Got a little taste of how lucrative that could be the other night, but not even tempted to change things up.
Tonight's episode, The Ripoff.
But we did rebuild the store, so if you want to check it out, go check it out.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
The guys and gals at GunWebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice once a month, and carry every day.
Thank you for watching GunWebsites.com.